MLB Pro Spirit, largest increase in pay rate. My gosh, Ryan, it is pitching to contact. It is giving his team a chance and giving them length. Sean Burke is taking it to a next level. What do you see so far on the mound?
Well, I still say this is someone we're not talking about enough.
Okay.
He's been really good, especially of late. So with Sean Burke, you roll the tape when we kick it off, right? Just to kind of show what we're looking at here. First of all, he's 6'6", 240 pounds. He made some mechanical adjustments I want to get into in just a moment. But he's throwing a couple extra pitches, that little sinker. He's got the curveball. He's got the cutter. We're going to dive into all of that. But I want to dive into some of the little mechanical adjustments he made. Now, again, he's 6'6". First of all these little adjustments are really starting to pan out.
Wow.
And this is why we're not talking about him. Look, 1.64 ERA since June 18th. So some of the things that he's been working on in the offseason coming into this year, they're starting to show up. Two things he said, and I heard him talk about this. Number one was keeping the weight over his back hip. So if you notice this, roll the tape real quick. I'll show you this little head movement he makes real quick. So show this. This is the first one, split screen. This is last year.
Okay.
This is this year. See how he's looking down. You can roll the tape one time through. Let's have a look. All right, rolls the tape, and then off he goes. So let's go back to it real quick. So the little head down. Now, a lot of people think that when you're pitching, how you should
That's what Schlittler's doing.
Right, the little head down. And it's a timing and it's a rhythm thing, right? It's a timing and seeing. Again, when you are 6'6" and you've got 240 pounds of mass moving now, you've got to be careful that you don't get out of this back hip. So he said that he wanted to get a little bit more loaded on this back hip as he drives and goes down. So when you watch the tape before, he's engaged with the catcher the whole time. What that does sometimes, I tried this, D-Row, it makes you kind of rush out of that backside. So you get here and boom, all of a sudden you're rushing out of the backside. When you look down, it just creates a little bit more of that rhythm and you slow down on that back hip. So roll the tape, off he goes, boom. So that's number one. It's a subtle little timing thing.
But you see it.
You can see it. Now, by the way, freeze the tape. Keep the tape here for a sec. I wanted to show this. Now, this is hard to really freeze frame because, again, he's moving so quick. This is a big difference for me as well. He also talked about when he gets over that back hip, right, he's here and he's keeping the hips neutral down the mound. He is a guy that he likes to do this counter rotation where he gets, where he turns.
Okay.
Which is fair enough. But you know this as a hitter, right? When you get into this rotation, the reaction is to rotate out of it. Again, when you're a bigger body, you've got to be really disciplined with keeping that straight. So one thing he talked about is keeping the hips neutral going in a straight line. And this is the difference. If you can see this. Last year, by the way, notice the fans in Chicago. Last year, look, the front side, if you can see it, the front side's going whoop, quick. This side, the delayed shoulder rotation up here, with the rotation.
Keeping it squared longer.
Everything's squared.
A lot of similar properties to hitting we talk about with hitting, right?
100%. So
hips are sliding, right, getting out in front.
Absolutely. So what happens is
now his arm's going to have tough time catching up.
And what happens is too, when you get really rotational, this upper body starts to rotate in thin air. Now he's got something to throw against. So everything's stacked, holding back, and boom. All right, so that's one little thing that obviously when you get that good feel, it's June 18th, we showed the numbers, but look at the difference too now with some of the pitches. This is the real story, right? He's added this cutter. That's a big one. We hear this all the time. You mentioned Cam Schlittler does that with the look down.
Yeah.
One reason why, he mentioned this as well, he's watched Garrett Crochet and Cam Schlittler adding the cutter and the variation to the fastball. The fastball's elite, we're gonna get to that in a moment. But you look at some of the usage. Roll the tape. Let's have a look at some of these pitches. Absolutely nasty. First of all, the cutter. This is the pitch he's added. This pitch is filthy. 6'6", good extension down the mound. Boom. And then the sinker, inner half of the plate to lefties. Big weapon against lefties, by the way. Boom. Now the slider. That was a pitch he leaned on. And the curveball as well.
Oh.
Nasty. Big spin
big
guy.
Hammer.
Right. So he was more curveball, four seam. But again, bread and butter is this right here. This is the four seam. So we showed all those pitches, but this has made this pitch better. And if you roll the tape right here, this is the +10 on the run value. Absolutely nasty. And again, we always talk so much about backspin, right? So the four seam, big weapon. He's been more aggressive in the strike zone. He can now because he's getting in better counts. And the four seam, he's just blowing doors off dudes. And the big reason why, when you look at the pitch metrics, he's got that good, above the barrel, induced vertical break. So first of all, ridiculous spin, 2,500 plus. He can get up to 2,650, by the way. So he's a leader there in regards to spin. And then you got the induced vertical break to go with it. So he's number 4.
Yeah.
So these guys, you know how it goes, man. The thing is, when you add that cutter to the mix and the sinker, one thing, it gets you when you're in bad counts. He was getting in bad counts, and that's when he was getting hit. But now he's getting in better counts. He's getting some more off the barrel. And then when you have this in your back pocket, forget about it.
Isn't it crazy? Davis Martin was so good in the first half,
right.
all-star. And now you can make the argument Sean Burke would get game 1.
For sure. And not saying they need Nace. The White Sox are going to do something this year. They need him to step up, man. He's been so fun to watch.
They're interesting for me if they can hold on. The Louis Castilla trade was from the cheap seats, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And Sean Burke's pitching today, weather permitting. The good news is we're very familiar with the weather situation right now in Chicago, which is...
It's not great.